إخوتي هيا نمضي سويا يا 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 إخوتي هيا نمضي سويا.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Salam. How are you doing?
Very good.
And 25 since we've seen each other.
Yes, it has.
And so I wanted to get an idea of what is this beta that you started up, and get an idea of what you started.
I can't believe you're asking me. You've been a student for 4 months. Okay, I'll give the short version of the story, inshallah ta'ala. This project started towards the end of 2004 when I was still in New York, and the idea was to facilitate Arabic education for Muslims across the country. And the philosophy really I had was that one of the obligations and really responsibilities of Muslims is to be educated in their deen, and one of the biggest obstacles in us being properly educated in Islam is really the Arabic language, because the primary sources of the religion are in Arabic. At the same time as it's a responsibility collectively, I also believe that Muslims have a right, not just a responsibility, they have the right to a quality education that is accessible to every Muslim man, woman and child, and they should have a quality education at least in the Arabic language, which opens the doors to other areas of learning, be it Quran or Sunnah or any other area. So when I first started learning Arabic for myself, it was a very difficult journey, from one teacher to another to another to another, and I didn't have the luxury to be able to travel abroad or to spend a lot of money to go to a university to do a degree in Arabic, etc. I was very much hand to mouth as a student. So when I went through whatever journey I went through to get to a certain level in Arabic, I felt, well, if I really wanted to learn it this bad and I had to go jump through all of these hoops, I'm sure there are people that are far more passionate about learning this stuff than I am, and they don't have these opportunities. So something has to be there that creates this opportunity. So when I started this project in New York, well, alhamdulillah, we started at a masjid I used to live in Long Island in Bayshore, and the response was just incredible. And word of mouth spread, and requests started coming. Can you do the same program, like a short Arabic class for the Muslim community in New Jersey? Can you do one in Connecticut? Can you do one in Maryland? And just no advertising, no radio, no flyers, nothing. Barely a website at the time, and just word of mouth, it kind of started spreading to the point where it got out of control. So alhamdulillah, it's been, that's where we started, and now alhamdulillah I have just a fantastic team of colleagues that are just increasing by the day, and I'm constantly looking for new talent as well. Myself and my colleagues included, we must have visited over at least 180 masajid all over the country. Alhamdulillah, all over the US. Can I plead the fifth on that one? But I'll say Irving, right? I'll say Irving, okay. Irving is absolutely one of my favorites though. Alhamdulillah. I came here in 2007 and taught. Some of you might remember. I came here and taught in 2007, and I came with my brother-in-law. We're both from New York, and when we came here, I'm teaching the class upstairs, we had about 85, 90 students, and there was a volleyball tournament going on between the Irving brothers and the brothers from, I think, ISAT, or the Central Masjid or something, and the guys at Irving were getting clobbered. I mean, they were getting destroyed. But I didn't know. I was just, enjoying the fact that there were bleachers back there and people watching the game. And my brother-in-law and I, we're from New York. We don't really see that kind of activity. So we're like, is this Eid? Did we miss what's the party about? So we kind of decided to move it. But long story short, after all these years of traveling, the idea, the virus that got planted in my head was, we need to create like a serious program, not just something that introduces people to Arabic, but an actual proper alternative to traveling abroad to study Arabic over here in the US. And by Allah's grace and really miraculous help from Allah and completely unexpected, overwhelming support from all over the country, we were able to set up our mini campus right here across in what used to be the Nokia headquarters. So we've taken up the 5th floor, and we've started our program, alhamdulillah. And so far so good, inshallah ta'ala.
That's good. So I've heard actually news about next year planning,
we started our registration for next year. And those of you that want to know more about it, inshallah, maybe towards the end of this program I can talk to you folks about it. But what I'm looking for is high school graduates and older that are brave enough to spare a year of their academic life. It's 10 months long, and the next batch starts in 2011 September. It starts in September 20th or so, inshallah. And already, I mean, it's been a couple of weeks since we opened up registrations, and I don't have any Dallas applicants yet, but we have several applicants from outside the Dallas area already. Alhamdulillah. So I'm hoping we see some more local participation this year, inshallah.
So let's get down to the gritty and what role does a Muslim teen play in today's high school and college, and also even to the point of the last question of being a young professional?
Okay, so one thing at a time.
Right, one thing at a time.
Okay.
The thing is that, you know, when we're talking about a teen growing up in high school, the pressures and all the different, you know, peer pressure that they get and the different levels of expectation that the parents have at home, how can you show, you know, give the perspective of...
I have kind of a weird perspective on this. To just be totally frank with everyone here, I feel less in a position to tell you how you should be in high school because I was pretty messed up in high school myself. But but I can tell you of some things that I've seen work, and I want to start with a recognition that there are two ways you can look at Islam. There's really two main ways you can look at this deen in your life, and one of those ways is, well, what's the bare minimum that this religion wants from me? And after that it can leave me alone and I can do what I want. In other words, just tell me what I cannot do, the absolutely bad stuff that's going to land me straight to hell. Tell me that stuff. I won't do that stuff, and everything else, I'll just do what I want to do. That's how I want to live my life. I want to be free from the shackles of religion, basically. Okay? And this is actually the way most young people look at any religion. Most young people look at a religion as a way, it just tells me not to do things. It stops me from living my life, right? Be it, you know, strict or conservative Christianity or Judaism or even conservative, you know, aspects of Islam or whatever. You know, whatever it may be, it's keeping me back from, you know, living it up, so to speak, you know. And high school is being pushed, and it's been pushed forever, as the golden years of your life. That's when you really should be partying. How many high school movies do they make, right? About how you should be going and doing whatever you possibly can in high school, because after that real life sets in or whatever. On the other end, there's another way of looking at Islam. And the other way of looking at Islam is that we were given this gift of Islam, not chains. Islam is not chains that are shackling us. We were given this gift, and this gift gives us this really high purpose. I wasn't sent on this earth to party. I was sent on this earth to do an amazing task. And there's a huge population on the earth who Allah decided He will not give them the gift of Islam. They didn't deserve it like I did. Allah gifted me with Islam. And the best years of my life that I can serve Islam with are what years? My early years. The youth of my life is the best part of my life that I can serve Islam with. Now these two very different points of view. One point of view asks, what's the least I can do and get by? And the other point of view asks, what more can I do? I want to do more. I want to help other people see how awesome this deen is, etc. And you know, what I've come to realize is, if I use sports terminology for a second, you know how we talk about defense and offense? If your team's on the defensive, what's already the case? When your team, whether you're playing football or basketball or whatever, if you're on the defense, what seems to be the case? You don't have possession. The other side does, right? And if you're on defense most of the time, that's a pretty good indication that you are winning or losing the game. You're losing, because you're constantly on the defensive.
That's how you are usually in basketball, aren't you?
Right, that's how I'm on defense, yeah. So that's why this happened. So, but anyway, this idea of, you know, holding back and saying we just have to at least take care of, defend a few of the things that Islam wants us to, and the rest of it, you know, we can let go. What you're asking for is eventual failure. You're gonna start making the list of things, the no-nos. You're gonna make that list shorter and shorter and shorter until there's nothing left. On the other hand, the winning attitude is really offensive. What more can I do? And I want to give you, I've given this example in the khutbah here before. I want to share that example with you. I'll keep my friend's name anonymous. But he went to high school, and before he went to high school, he was in a Hifz program. So he memorized Quran, and you know, when you memorize Quran, of course, you're sitting in the masjid with other kids that are memorizing Quran. You're with the hafizah most of the time. Then you go home and you review Quran, and you're just surrounded by this really pure gathering all the time. And then he's done, now he's going to high school.